If you're at school, you need to play the game. Getting into trouble isn't intelligent. You should read Osho, the rebel, the nonconformist. Just because someone says don't do it doesn't mean you should do it. You need to be intelligent. Intelligence comes from study. Study of yourself, study of books, study of the world that we live in. You need to understand this world. You can't just be spiritual. You can't just dance around a campfire singing songs and taking your clothes off. Spiritual is actually, I think in my mind, you need a lot of strength to be spiritual. You need a lot of force. You need to sometimes go through a lot of pain. That's why I think martial arts is very good for spirituality, because it builds up your pain threshold levels, which means that you can suffer more, which means you can burn more things off, or you can go through the process faster. I think people that complain and whinge and whine and want to be social justice warriors and the world's all wrong and sit there doing activism, sometimes you got to fight, and you got to know how to fight, and you got to be prepared to fight. And martial arts does a lot of work in those areas. School is not good for boys. It pacifies boys. Boys need to be out and about.
Found our spot. 4, 5, 6. Phase on. Think about how we might do that safely. Stand up and try that again. Stand up and try that again. Thank you. Okay. So instead of climbing and crawling over Manny, what could you do?
I tripped over him.
Okay. So think about how you might go over to that rug in a very careful way. Thank you.
The classroom just makes you go crazy. It's been made like that on purpose so that boys do badly. There's no reason to keep children inside a concrete box for 8 hours a day. It's a slow form of torture. It's stupid and ridiculous, because the point of school is to keep you in that box. It's to make you go crazy. It's to make the boys react. It's to make the boys become disruptive. It's so that you can then castigate the boys. It's so that you can look down on men. If you look at the cinema or you look at TV, men are always the bad one, incompetent fools, Homer Simpson type people. That's what they're training the boys to be. Girls are outperforming boys. Girls are better students. They do their work, they sit down, they answer questions, they don't come to school drunk and hungover, usually. Boys need to be taught differently. And if that means separating the sexes for a while, then do it. But we need to pay more attention to how we treat the male generation, because they're growing up believing that they're stupid. And they need to be men, and school doesn't make you a man. It actually takes your manliness away from you. And manliness now is a dirty word. You're not allowed to have manliness. You have to have soft skills. You can't have hard skills. You have to pander to the whim of the social justice warriors. How many social justice warriors can go out into the forest and camp for a week? Can make their own hut, can make their own food, can make a fire? How many of them can live by themselves? How many of them can go and do difficult and dangerous work? It's much more easy for them to throw themselves in front of a bus as a passive form of sacrifice. If school winds people up so much, like boys, why don't you go and dump them in the forest? Forest calms you down. Forest changes your energy, different colours from the white walls, like a psychiatric ward in a mental institution. What's the difference between a classroom and a psychiatric ward in a mental institution? Both have got bars on the windows, and both have got desks and televisions and books, teachers going around the place making sure everyone's in order. And you've got to think, what's the part of the teacher's job in all of this? Do the teachers know what's going on? Are there some good teachers there that know, that have awoken, that aren't woke people, that are actually spies in the system, that are telling the children the truth in occult ways beneath the eyes of the overbearing syllabus?